fucking fucks. Back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. More of this shit of talking about this sport called football. How's it going? More importantly, are you okay? Thank you very much for the recent support on the channel, guys. It has genuinely been bizarre how many people have been watching my videos. All I can say to that is please subscribe. Please like the videos. Just as much interaction as possible. I love the idea that we're building a little bit of a community here. So let's start off the video with doing fucking comment of the week. Let's see how comment of the week went. You guys have been a bit dry, to be honest. There hasn't been an awful lot of comments that I would consider. Comment of the week, which was commented 2 weeks ago, was from Annoy Mouse 812. What you're saying is interesting, but it's hard to understand over the mic static in the background. Just FYI. I haven't got a new mic, but I just didn't know how to work it back then, so I got to apologise for that. If you want a better comment of the week, and comment something funny, just something funny, that's all it would take. But anyway, let's get into today's video where you watch a man who knows literally nothing about anything try and talk about something generally football related. This is how it works, get used to it. Trying hard. I was having a thought the other day, and I don't have many. I was having a thought, and is it just me, or does it seem like there's a massive lack of just elite level managers left at the moment? And I'm talking about compared to 5 or 6 years ago. There's a couple of managers who have certainly stopped getting employed by the top clubs. You know, mainly guys like Antonio Conte. I have no idea what he's doing. Actually, I think he might be ill. I'm not sure on that one. Point still stands. Thomas Tuchel as well. Since compared to a few years ago now, I feel like his reputation has kind of taken quite a lot of a dent. He's lost the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich. He obviously got sacked from Chelsea, and his stock has certainly depleted. The top clubs are now a lot more cautious about going near him and employing him. You look at Pochettino as well, like what, 5 or 6 years ago, he would have literally walked into pretty much any football club and got the job as manager. Whereas now, I'm going to be honest, Pochettino ain't doing so great. You look at Chelsea. I saw a stat the other day, which was if Chelsea didn't have Cole Palmer, basically won them 18 points this season. If they hadn't have got those 18 points, Chelsea would be, I think, 16th, right above the relegation zone, very close. Without Cole Palmer, Chelsea would be in a relegation scrap, and their manager is Mauricio Pochettino, who, like I said a few years ago, was considered one of the best managers in the world. Obviously now Klopp's leaving Liverpool, so that's another one ticked off the list. He won't be in football for he won't be in football for at least another couple of years, I don't think. He's taken a hiatus. You look at Xavi, I mean, he doesn't fill me with confidence. Barcelona fans, you may think differently. He has literally just signed a year's contract extension at Barcelona, which might be a bit telling. Maybe Barcelona just looked at the fucking guys that are available and thought, maybe not. You've obviously got guys like Xabi Alonso at Leverkusen, who has done exceedingly well. No one would have ever predicted that, but he's staying put at Leverkusen. You've got Carlo Ancelotti, but he's not going to be in football for much longer. No offence, but he's pretty old. He's going to want to enjoy his retirement at some point. He's now won everything that he needs to win at Real Madrid. He's probably established himself as, you know, the third or fourth best football manager ever, so he's riding off into the sunset. Jose Mourinho, again, doesn't really seem to have that fire that he used to have. I know a lot of people say the game's moved on, probably correct. I have no fucking idea. It would be fair to say he's fallen off a little bit. Then you look at like the new managers coming through, the likes of, you know, Lampard and Gerrard, both awful, terrible managers at their respective clubs. I don't really think I need to go into detail about why they were that bad. I feel like that's pretty cut and dry at this point. And then you look at like guys who are in charge of the big club, like Erik ten Hag. I know that there's a lot of United fans that love him to bits, right? And I know that he has got a decent track record with United, but on the whole, it's like really the biggest club in the country, in the Premier League, which is the biggest and best league in the world, is Erik ten Hag. You know, obviously we've got Pep. Pep is pretty much carrying football at the moment. He's setting the standards, which everyone seems to be struggling to meet. I don't know an awful lot about the managers in Italy. I know that Inter have just won Serie A. They got to the Champions League final last year, so their manager, I think it's Inzaghi, might be worth a call from one of these top clubs. The Liverpool job, again, potentially going to go to Arne Slot. I don't know, maybe it's just me buying into the commercialism of modern football and thinking that we need to have heard of the manager in order for them to be qualified for the job or a top job in football. But like, even fucking hell, England, Southgate, he's been there for nearly 10 years. How on earth has this happened? You know, Simeone at Atletico Madrid, another example of a guy who is, you know, great manager, been there for ages, fine, they're good. Atletico, you're good. Just at the moment feels like maybe we're in a transition period or something, but it certainly feels like you've got two extremes. You've either got your Xabi Alonso's who's super young, it's his first season in management, I'm pretty sure, or first full season season of management, and he has literally done the best you possibly can do in your first season of management. On the other end of the spectrum, you've got guys who are probably coming towards the end of their managerial careers in Carlo Ancelotti, who again is having unbelievable success. But these middling managers who aren't committed to clubs, or it doesn't feel like there's an abundance of options for clubs, top clubs looking for managers. Chelsea thought they probably got a steal with Pochettino, and look how that's turned out. But I don't know, maybe I'm being dumb. I'm saying there's not an abundance of managers where it's like they can walk into a top club job tomorrow and it's like that. Whereas a few years ago, I feel like there were a lot more managers in circulation who were experienced and also available. Whereas now it's like either you've got the extremes of you've got managers that are available but they haven't got the experience, but all the experienced managers aren't available, and there's not an awful lot of them. Like, look at the guys that are being considered for the Liverpool job. It's Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon. Pretty sure he's been a manager for 3 or 4 years. Xabi Alonso, 1 year. Arne Slot, I don't know how long he's been a manager. I think since 2019, so again, only 4 years. So I don't know, 5-6 years ago, you had guys like Maurizio Sarri, Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, Rafa Benitez, guys who had a whole shit ton of experience and could come in and do a job. It seems like all the clubs are just taking hits on younger guys. I suppose somebody that breaks that rule is Unai Emery at Aston Villa. Experienced manager, comes in, does really well, not a problem. My point is that it just, like I said, it doesn't feel like there's an abundance of experienced managers available at the moment. I don't know if that's just because the game's moved on very quickly, so all the experienced managers we had have kind of been out-tacticked out the game, or, look at like Julian Nagelsmann and Hansi Flick. 2 guys who both touted to go on to become managers of great club, do amazing things. Hansi Flick won a treble with Bayern, and I haven't heard a peep from him since. He's been at Germany and hasn't done an awful lot there. Julian Nagelsmann, he fucking was at Bayern, got sacked, and I haven't heard an awful lot about him since. But yeah, that was kind of what was on my mind, and this is kind of in the wake of obviously the Liverpool job being available and seeing who is available for these guys. There's a debate about Mikel Arteta and should he be sacked, and because it's another trophyless season for Arsenal, that considered success. But it's like, who are they going to get in that's going to be able to compete from the Premier League? Nobody can compete with Pep. If you bring Ancelotti, put him into Liverpool or Arsenal, Man City still storm the league. No one can compete with Pep, and this whole thing is his bitch. This is the best way of putting it. A few years ago, we had obviously Klopp at Liverpool, Arteta at Arsenal, we had Pep at Man City, we then had, I want to say Jose Mourinho at United, we had Carlo Ancelotti at Everton, we had Antonio Conte at Spurs. That's 7 of the best managers in the world, some of which is the best managers of all time in the Premier League in the same season. Let me know what you think, guys. Again, very much just a random opinion piece. But I hope you're having a good day. Make sure to always support Sevilla, and I will see you in the next video.